You got it.
Reporting live.
All right.
Reporting live from WVAS, smooth jazz and mellow vocals.
There we go. You remember. You got it back. All right, so I'm just going to just kick it off. Welcome back, Erica Washington, the co-owner of Fresh Greens Market. You are back with two special guests, Mr. David Turner and State Representative Ontario Tillman.
Peace and blessings. What's going on?
Hello, thanks for having us back.
And namaste, David.
Oh yeah,
absolutely. Good to be back.
It's good to have you all back. And we're going to just do something different today. This segment is talking about, of course, farming, but herbs. And as we're going to start to make sure we let everyone know, always consult your healthcare provider before using any of these. But this is just from your perspective about different herbs, how they help you in your wellness journey, and what you hope to share with others.
Yes, so this is a very important piece. We've been talking a lot about growing our own food and farming and the importance of that. The land also gives. Food is thy medicine. I've said that 100 times before on here. And so we have David here, who is a master of the herbs, to basically just talk about the power of the herbs, how the land is healing, and herbs that are very useful for each of us on a regular basis that we could be using in some of their benefits. So welcome.
Thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
So we could start off with how you got into farming, and then also kind of how that connected into your wellness journey.
Okay, well, I got into farming during the first day that I knew that we were going to be in quarantine in 2020, because I don't eat meat. I haven't had meat now since July of 2017. And my little voice, who I listen to, and when I listen to it soon, better things happen. But my little voice was like, hey, you don't eat like everybody else. Now, you can't grow it all in a day, but you can learn to figure this out, because this is something I wanted to do anyway. And both sides of my family have had farming in a professional sense and just for gardening. So it was bound to come at some point, and it was something I wanted to do anyway. And it was just the best time to do it, because there was nothing else to do besides learn yourself or learn the wrong things. I just try to veer towards the former in most cases. But I started everything in buckets. Everything was in buckets, and then funnily I realized probably halfway through I had 24 buckets in Kobe past the previous year. And as a young person, I used to hate Kobe because he used to kill my dreams. He used to knock out all my teams, especially when he knocked out AI. But as I got older, and then I started hearing how he philosophized everything and thought through everything mentally, especially with my mentality, like, nah, I like this guy. He's the real deal. He'll do anything to win, kind of like Jordan, but he'll give you the blueprint in a way. But yeah, I started everything in buckets, and people say green thumb. I say I have green hands because everything was working in a way.
Nice. So here we are 5 years later from that time. I would say, what's one things that you've learned or that you're most grateful for starting out in this journey of growing your own food?
One thing that I'm grateful for, it also, well, as me being a yoga teacher as well, it gave a visual example of having patience. When you're watching a plant grow, like one of my favorite things to watch grow is corn, because it grows fast, but you can see the growth. And when you Google, everything is almost Googleable, people. That's a word, Googleable. But when you watch the growth of it, you can see the process of it. Like, okay, well, I need to do this to it next. But seeing like the visual growth of a thing and the next step for it to do, it's almost like a child. It's pretty much like a child. I don't have kids, but I used to work with kids, and like, okay, well, there's steps to this. You just can't some kids are different, but in some cases you just can't let them like watch everything,
Right.
or just toss them a 12th grade math book unless they're already having that capacity for them. So you have to work your way to it and have a practice with it.
I'm going to kind of jump in real quick. State Representative Tillman, you've also talked about how you use sea moss and how certain natural ingredients, well, certain natural products have helped you. Can you kind of chime in and tell us what even got you interested in sea moss?
Well, with me, it's the same type of thing, doing the research on it and seeing the health benefits of it and listening to Dr. Sabi.
Right.
And really researching him and watching him and seeing how my favorite quote that he once said was that a grizzly bear cannot eat a polar bear food. So
That's
that kind of resonated with me, saying that what can I eat that's going to benefit my health and my body. So it's from oregano oil to sea moss, different things of that nature I take on a daily basis. I've been doing it for years.
Good.
I rarely get sick.
That's
You
a
can even
fact.
ask my wife that, she'll tell you that. And I feel good, for the most part. I do try to cut back on eating a lot of the meat. I'm not completely there yet, but I do try to minimize that as much as I can. I also believe in the fasting, going the 24-hour fast or eating once a day. I try to, incorporate a lot of that stuff into what I do. And to hear you talk about it is really refreshing and commendable that you guys are doing this, because especially in an urban environment, it makes sense, because the one thing that we do not do as a group is self-sustainability when it comes to our food. And we need to focus more on that, because right now you really don't know what you're eating. And I think that's the problem.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Can we talk a little bit more about fasting and the power of that? That's something David is really big on, and I think we think about health and wellness as like these super complicated solutions, and you can drink more water, you can get outside and get your sunlight. Can you talk more about fasting and the power of that in its simplicity?
Yeah, fasting is, the first time that I did it, I had a friend guiding me out on it. And it was just like a 3-day water fast. And I think around hour 32, I was gonna crash. I was like, bro, I don't think I can do this. He was like, man, just go to sleep. So I went to sleep, and after that, I was fine. And then around hour 70, I was like, man, I don't even know. I'm gonna eat, but I don't know if I really need to eat like that. But I read the Bible every day. I wouldn't say that I'm a Christian, but I still use what was given to me as a child, and I make sure that I have my own mind to it, to make sure that I read. And Jesus fasted. Now, I haven't done 40 days. You got to work to that, but fasting is really good for the body. I think when you reach around 24 hours or 36 hours of like just fasting, even if, especially with water, but if you cut out water too, your body starts to eat itself. Autophagy. So it's eating the waste. So the rest of the waste that's in the body is getting to be able to eliminate easier and faster. And as I'm not Muslim, but I know some Muslim people, some of the nicest people that I've ever met, when they're doing their Ramadan or when they're doing their fasting, you're supposed to be praying, whether that be the 5 times a day, or when you feel like you have a hunger craving, that's when you pray. So and it's just connection with God, or the Most High, as some people would say. But so with the meditation and prayer, because I do both every day, all the time, the fasting has been really, really great. And then as I've had the fast, I always write about them. How did I feel, or what has it given me in some kind of clarity or something, whether it's just on the literal physical or the closer that I've gotten to the Most High, in a sense.
Nice. So I think it does connect back into, you might hear about it a lot, like gut health. And so as David talks about fasting, kind of clearing waste, you know, when your gut is clear, your mind is clear, your gut is like your second brain. So it's very much so a cleansing activity to bring clarity into your life.
Go ahead.
Yeah, Representative Tillman, can you speak about the times that you fasted?
Yes, and I look at it from the same perspective. I look at it as the body actually healing itself.
Yes.
And I think that's something that we need to do more often, because to me, the body is the most efficient, you know, machinery that we have, but we overlook it because we want to look at the AI, we want to look at things of this nature. The body can do any and everything on its own, especially God has given us
Everything
we need right here on the earth.
That's a fact.
So all we have to do is just utilize what He's already given us, and if we kind of look at it from that standpoint, we would be more healthier. We would have a more healthier nation. And when you look at Eastern nations, they don't have the same obesity problem that we
That's
have
a
here.
fact.
They don't have the same type of health issues that we have here because it's the chemicals, it's the preservatives that we put in food
And they
to make
live
sure
longer.
they keep it. Absolutely, and this is something that we do not do. You know, we shouldn't be dying at early ages from, you know, different, you know, diabetes and things of that nature. When, you know, in those other countries, they don't really have a lot of those issues. So I think it's important that we do. We need to talk about it more so people can really kind of understand the concept of behind it, because they kind of look at it, well, I'm hungry, like you said, I want to crash out. No, man, just stay focused. Like you said, meditate, pray, and you can get through it, and then it becomes easy.
Right.
Because like I haven't eaten anything today.
Me either. I don't eat till noon.
Yes, exactly.
Like every day, like I
go
don't eat till
12,
noon.
1 o'clock.
Right.
And I, you know, most of the time I try to eat fruit, something like some
Right,
veggies,
same.
something like that, and that's pretty much it.
Very
So
nice.
Yeah. And it's also like, as you were saying, just to piggyback off of it a little bit, it's giving your body a break.
Yes.
Your stomach, your esophagus, everything a break. We're in the South. We're in the heart of the Black Belt. Everybody's still eating the same thing that our grandparents and great grandparents had. The only difference is they had the more real version of it. And as my great aunt has spoken to Erica and I about, and she's spoken to someone about, we didn't have that much. We had vegetables and fruit throughout the week, but on the weekend, like, meat was a luxury. So they weren't gonna eat like that. Now she's 74. She's the first woman on that side that cracked 70. Now she comes to me for herbs. Like, I give her a yellow dock, and that helps her with her inflammation in her body. And yellow dock also helps with digesting and getting the clearing out of things. But the things are deformed. The food, I can't think of another word. So with the deformation of the food, that's gonna change your DNA, which is gonna change how you thinking and how you move and how you would do, which is gonna be easier for you to crash out and make a bad decision on, I'm gonna eat this when you know you should have had this. You know?
Absolutely. So, Representative Tillman, you spoke about, you know, using what God gave us, and that ties directly back into, as you're speaking about yellow dog, David, how then, as the herbs are nature's gift, you know. Just this past weekend, if you're not familiar with it, we found like the boatload or the mother load of mullein on the west side just growing wild. And I can remember one of the first times I heard about mullein was in 2020, because people were trying to figure out their respiratory situation. They didn't know what was going on. And I can remember my mom calling and several other people like, where can you find mullein? And so here it is in 2020. I saw it for the first time growing wild on the west in 23 or 22. And to hit a lot that's empty and it's just everywhere, it's just the power of we're given what we needed when we need it. So can you speak more to the, I don't want to say how that happens, but maybe herbs that you found or that have found you, like mullein, like yellow dock, and their benefits, and kind of what that will do for folks now as we all kind of are in a, you know, interested environment, whether it's the lung or respiratory health, with a bird flu and all these other outbreaks. Like, how do these herbs or some herbs that would be beneficial to the people?
they're very beneficial. Well, let's just start with this, as Rhett was saying about God giving us everything that we need. You have to have well, for me in certain things, like I'm a yoga teacher, so I'm gonna research, do my due diligence. I could have taught to yoga without getting a cert, but I wanted to go the long way and the right way of doing it. So if I meet somebody from India that's been doing yoga for the longest, it's like, okay, he knows what he got going on. So as I got educated with the yoga, I also was getting educated with more of the health things as far as the herbs. Now with mullein, I was at the farmer's market during 2020 or 21 walking around with my mom, and I literally just read about it. It was most likely 2020. I just read about it and it caught my eye. Now, I used to smoke a lot of reefer, as some people would say. I don't do that no more. I'm chilling on it right now. But I saw it and I was like, oh, I need that. Instantly grabbed it. But it had to come to me, and I had to be able to receive that information for it to have it. But mullein is really good for cleaning out the lungs. You can have it in the tea. I have some tea for people that want some that are in the studio. Good for the respiratory system, and it can also heal wounds. Like I had a callus on my hand, and I was just putting aloe vera gel, a mullein leaf, and then wrapping it with a band-aid, and the callus, I mean, it's gonna be a callus, but it healed up quicker than normal. Yellow dock root, I found that at the farm. I didn't know what it was, but I knew it was something. And I have this app, Plant This, that you can take a picture of a plant and it's gonna tell you what it is. So I did that, and I did further research. I was like, oh, this is what I need right now. This is good for, as I was saying, it can clean out your digestive system. It's good for clearing out your skin, and it's a blood cleanser. Some people are, as you brought up, Dr. Sebi, they're versed in him, and the newer age people are versed in Yaki Awaken. Down on YouTube, they name 3 herbs. They gonna say sea moss, I want to say burdock root, but they gonna say yellow dock is one of them. Now the taste is not the greatest, but the aftermath, you can't really put your mind on what the taste is. I know that's where our people are, because we got high blood sugar and all of those things. You want to have something that tastes good. The bitters are gonna get you. Like even in the Bible, say wormwood is the comment that hit in Revelation. So, and wormwood, it's the horrible taste, but that is the best detoxing for your body. It's like, I give it to her, and she has it all the time. It's like, oh yeah, I'm fine. But the detoxing is important. But the yellow dock, it's gonna do a lot of removing of things.
And the same thing with beetroot.
Yes.
Yeah, it tastes terrible, but it's good for you.
Yes.
So to me, it's more about, I know the health benefits of it, so I just enjoy the taste.
Exactly.
Go ahead and just drink it, eat it, just go and get it out the way, and get it over with.
Right.
But that's the best thing to do, and I think we really need, and it goes back to what you said earlier. I think for the most part during the pandemic, I think people started saying, let me look at herbs a little bit more. Let me find some natural stuff, because I don't want to necessarily take this shot. So let me, find something else out. Right. And also on the other note, as far as the marijuana, that's something that we should decriminalize. That's something that we shouldn't have a stigma around, because it does have some health benefits and qualities to it. But it has this stigma of, oh man, you out here, dealing drugs. It's a plant. But we don't classify it as that. We want to make it like it's a bad thing, instead of saying, okay, this is a good thing. Some people like it. To me, I make it akin to drinking alcohol. If you don't drink alcohol, don't drink it. If you don't want to go to the liquor store, don't go. If you don't want to smoke marijuana, don't. And we talk about freedom of choice. That's a freedom of choice.
Absolutely.
But we want to limit our choices. It's the certain freedoms that they want you to have, instead of saying we can be free on all of this stuff.
So David, before we started recording, you and I were talking about how meditation, yoga can help you self-regulate, and it ties in directly with what Representative Tillman would be talking about as well. The package of bills, safety. package of bills, and how beneficial that would be for students, young children, to learn how to self-regulate, self-awareness, self-control, where we wouldn't need or to have to have a talk about incarceration.
Yeah. Meditation has brought me a long way. It's still taking me on the journey. But as I was telling you, I was listening to something, and I try to make sure it hits my subconscious as I'm doing the yoga in the morning. But this guy was talking to a lady. She was a teacher in Harlem. One of her students had just witnessed somebody getting shot. And she asked the students, how many of y'all have seen somebody get shot? Everybody's hands went up. So she started practicing with them where they would get a stuffed animal at some point in the day. I think it's in the morning. And everybody lays down and put the stuffed animal on their belly, and they literally work on their breathing, mindfulness, watching it go up and down. Just regulating your breath is important. Like when I started doing yoga the summer of 2015 after I graduated from Troy. I picked up this one book. There's a deeper story to it, but I picked up this one book and I've been on a rabbit hole since. I'm halfway through it and it's on the part of pranayama, breath work. After I end that chapter, I'm not even breathing right. All my breaths are shallow, and it's almost in the instance of when people commit a crime. There's a thing that's been floating on social media for maybe a year or two. This guy, he was like, man, I got 25 years for something that could have been changed for 5 seconds. 5 seconds, right. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But he had a shallow breathing. If he would have just, he might be free. He might be able to be around his children right now, you know? So that's very important. It's important for grown folks because they out here raising the kids. Like I said, I don't have any right now, but you have to be able to do that for yourself and then give that to the younger person. But it's extremely important for the And
I'm glad you said that. Even as an attorney, as a criminal defense attorney, I deal with this subject all the time. You know, a split second can change your life, and you hear it so much. I blacked out. I did this. I did that. And it comes back down to the self-control, removing yourself from the situation, you know, figuring out something else to do, and not really, you know, even putting yourself in that situation from the beginning.
Right.
And it's devastating to the community because now people are being locked up at high rates, and a lot of this stuff you caused. So when you're looking at it from that point, now it has to be an accountability standpoint.
Yeah.
So how can we hold you accountable for making this you know, horrible decision that has ruined not only the other person's life but your life as well? And it's really consequences that I don't think we really talk about enough.
That's a fact.
Because to go and see your loved one inside a cage is about as big as this room, and living there with another person, that is eye-opening. And I don't think people really understand how it is on the inside of there. It's sort of like how they say you really don't understand war unless you've been in it. So you really don't understand the prison complex until you've actually been in it. And then you start to see what these people go through. But like you said, it's a split moment. And I think that's a good message that he's putting out, that I could have been out playing basketball, doing anything else, but I made the wrong decision. Now I'm in here serving the rest of my life, and my kids, I can't be the father, I can't be this, I can't be that, and that's a problem.
Right.
What are some kind of herbs would you all suggest that people can look at taking or doing their own research to kind of promote reduce stress and relaxation?
Yeah, so my favorite, hands down, is going to be moringa, referred to as the tree of life. There are many sources that you can get it from, but I always believe you should go local. And so we have a nice source in Tuskegee. Trill Farms also sells it, and he can drop the information at the end of the segment. But it's referred to as the tree of life. 1 teaspoon has all the nutrients that we need, vitamins and minerals in a day. They say 1 teaspoon has 3 times the amount of vitamin C of an orange, 3 times the potassium of a banana. And so as we talk about like health and wellness, a lot of diseases and disorders are a manifestation of dehydration or lack of minerals, and basically a mineral deficiency, whether that's vitamin D or whatever that may look like. It also is very cleansing to the gut, and so I'm a witness of that. But as I do more studies on nutrition, like a lot of our guts are in dysfunction, and so when your gut is in dysfunction, your body is dirty in a sense, and so a lot of things happen when your body is not clean. And so simple herbs like a teaspoon every morning in tea is incredible. I would say that is my favorite. And then also ginger. I think everybody knows ginger. Great for like nausea. It's great for calming. It actually like opens up your blood vessels because it's heat. It also helps to just neutralize the stomach. And so it's like these things you can pick up ginger root from the store, and use that whether you want to make a juice or whether you make a tea. It's very calming, and a great addition to health. And then I want to also mention, when David was speaking about yellow dock for the ladies, it is also very amazing for your menstrual cycle. If you experience cramps, which is not normal, okay, that's a whole nother conversation. It is having bad menstrual cycles are a result of your gut and your colon not being clean, and it being too full, or you needing to have more waste. That's a whole nother conversation. But yellow dock literally eliminates that immediately. If you're having stomach aches, it immediately eliminates that because it is cleansing. So those are my, I guess, top 3 that came to mind.
Well, I agree with everything that you said there. I love the sea moss. Like I said, I love the oregano oil because of the immune properties in it. Also, I drink the hibiscus tea every morning, and I do it with, sometimes I put honey in it, or I just drink the tea. And I also use a lot of the beetroots. I kind of mix it with the apple cider vinegar and the things of that nature, and those are the things I normally take pretty much every day.
Very cool.
I have a long list.
Just give us 3.
3? Oh man. Okay, I'm gonna go sea moss as well, but if you can get the purple or a color, something with a color in it in most cases. I'm gonna try not to name anything y'all named or that we spoke on already. American ginseng.
Oh, good one.
That is really good for energy boosting and immunity health. Look up the price of American ginseng. It's about £1. It's crazy. It's like $212 a pound. And that was the last time I saw it. That was like 3 months ago. So we'll be growing that as well. So,
You come to your garden.
Which is another one. We haven't spoken on it, but it was very popular during quarantine, which sounds crazy, but 2020 was, to the date, best year of my life. Elderberry. Now it's a fruit,
Nice.
but it's a herb, and that's a huge immunity booster. We have elderberry bushes on the farm. We have some that we just have to process right now to get dried up for consumption. But elderberry and mixing the sea moss with the elderberry, everybody was doing that. That's how they were getting, making sure that they were straight on a daily basis. Sometimes I wish, a lot of people are doing it, some aren't. Some of the things that we were doing during that time, let's keep doing that on a regular basis. Have that gel, that sea moss and elderberry gel, just a teaspoon a day. Just that. It's something simple. It's something so simple. It seems like a lot, but it's only a lot because you let your mind do it to you. But it's so simple. I would say that will, the old saying of the apple a day keep the doctor away. This really might push him further away.
which is a good thing. And also like pepper, cayenne pepper.
Yes.
Yeah, I forgot about that one too.
And
Like
turmeric.
that. Yes.
Anti-inflammatory.
And can I say this real quick? The seasoning of your food, since you just brought that up, because I use that a lot, and I also use turmeric a lot, you know that. Season your food with these things. This is the battle you eat every day in most cases. And in the quote-unquote richest country in the world, we're spoiled. We eat more than one time a day in most cases. How you season your food can change a lot.
Yes.
Basil, thyme, rosemary. We got rosemary at the house. A lot of these things can be grown at the house and maintained. I've had the rosemary outside. It's been outside all winter through the cold. It's greener than the one that I had covered. What else? Like a lot of this stuff it's not hard. It's just getting in the practice of doing it.
And on that, you all have to come back for another follow-up to talk more about the herbs, how you can use them, how they've benefited you all. You have to come back.
Yes,
Yes.
for sure. Because I promise you, I am thoroughly impressed by you guys. Because
I appreciate it.
this is
Much love.
high-level information that I don't think people really know. And I think by you coming out here and saying this is what you guys doing is brilliant. So keep doing this. Keep putting the information out there so people can start understanding this and living longer.
We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Could you share, David, too, how to find your information and where folks can shop if they're looking for local grown teas?
So I'll start with the local grown teas, and in the local area we'll be able to provide produce like collard greens, kale, salads, tomatoes, things of that nature. www.trillfarms.co. That's TRILLFARMS.co. As far as yoga is concerned, you can go to YouTube and type in HYYER CO, Hyyer Co, and that's about it. Well, on Instagram, I've changed it just to one name, TRILLDAVE. You can catch everything that I do. That I would just tell Ms. Hogan. I work at a shoe repair shop too. This is an ancient thing. Everything that I'm into is ancient.
Foregone art. We had shoe repair when I was in school. We had tailoring. We had all of that in school.
We need to bring the trades back to school.
Exactly.
Let's talk about that.
Yeah.
I was able to do things down in with the belts, with the lettering on the belts,
Nice.
all type of stuff. But that stuff is, like you said, it's coming.
Yeah. But that's where you can find what I'm doing and what we got going on. Coming out strong this spring.
Yes.
Whole lot of planning, whole lot of producing, whole lot of providing. So yeah.
Thank y'all so much. This was so great.
Sure. Much love. Thank you.
Absolutely. I thank you guys.
All right. I'll stop it right there, and then we'll talk some. While you're already here, let's go ahead and talk about what's going on in the legislature, the package of safety bills.
Yes.
But y'all, I have to come back just like that.
Oh, sure.
You definitely
Yes,
did.
this
You
was
definitely
good.
did. I enjoyed
Can you
that.
take a picture of us like
Yes.
you did for with Miss Josie too?
Yes. I would love to do that.
Tune in.
Yes.
Now, Representative Tillman, you from Birmingham?
Yeah, from Bessemer.
Really?
I
Very
used to work in
cool.
Bessemer.
Really?
The Southside Homes and the Boys and Girls
on the
Club.
south side. Yeah, right over there in No Project, in the same
Wow.
home.
That's dope. That's
Yeah,
dope.
I grew up at.
Nice.
And I represent the area now.
Good.
That's amazing.
That's really good. Man, I was telling her probably a month or two ago, I wonder, because there would be two little twins. The first time they saw me, they just latched on to me and they would literally pull me. I wonder, like, how they doing.
How they doing
You
now?
know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's always good. And like I said, people really don't understand. They don't. Like, this is good.
All right, you all just kind of look. See? All right, now I'll send it to all of you.
Thank you.
Excellent. Yes, I love that. See, you did so cool.
Yes, this worked out so well.
Yogi instructor for a while, so.
And shout out to you for your policies being real things and like connected, and for you being connected in it. That's important because you can't do your job if you're not healthy.
Yeah,
You know, you got to be the example.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Thank you. This is what we're talking about. Thank you. And look, and I had brought him some of the moringa.
Yes.
I got it in my thing right now.
Okay, I can't wait to try this.
Thank you. Hold on.
No problem.
Yeah, I'm